All right, let's get this show on the road, man. I have so many things to vent about. I don't know how many people are going to be in here, but I just need to go live. People watch it tomorrow. People watch it tonight. I don't know. The first comment, there's a comment already. We got a hug in the chat. That is the perfect way to describe tonight. I mean, what? Listen, listen. I'll be the first to say I asked before the Marlins and Rockies series, I said, what is realistic or what will you be happy with to how many games will you be happy with winning against the Marlins and Rockies? A lot of people said 6-1. I was like, that's aggressive. It's just not easy to sweep teams. I think 5-2 I'd be happy with. And before you know it, the Reds are 2-3 against the Marlins and the Rockies. 2-3. I try to be level-headed. I try to stay in a good spot. I don't want to be the over dramatic fan, but you can't be losing to the Rockies. They have 22 wins. 22 wins. And there were some decisions tonight that I just don't understand. It didn't matter. It didn't matter. Here we go. There's a good comment from Evan here from Twitter. This game made me more frustrated than any sporting event since the 2022 AFC Championship somehow. That's a good point. Because I was thinking here, I was sitting here tonight and I was thinking, as I was doing the post-game stuff that I have to do, I was thinking, is this the most mad I've been after a game this season? I think it might be. Now, there were some awful losses. We've blown some huge leads. But that was just – the Reds were 0-for-11 with runners in scoring position. 0-for-11 with – yep, there Jeremy just said it. 0-for-11 with runners in scoring position. I think Austin Hayes led about 6 guys on base himself. And it's just crazy. It's just absolutely crazy that you can get one run off that Rocky starter and then just do nothing against their bullpen. And then you get a miracle, 9 left on base from Hayes. If that's what it is, that's crazy. And listen, I'm all over the place. I'm just here to rant. I'm just here to talk. Just here to talk with the people. But Hayes, he's had a good season for the Reds, but lately he's kind of been struggling. I know he had a big game. Was it yesterday or 2 days ago? I don't know. They all the days run together at this point. But he was up there swinging like he was CES and Reese Hines tonight. He was swinging. You threw a slider that started on the outside part of the plate and went into the opposite batter's box. He was swinging. He was swinging. I mean, have an approach, dude. Have an approach. There was, when he hit into the double play, somebody said this on Twitter. I forget who it was. I wish I would remember or shout him out. Somebody said it was the 6th straight ball. It would have been the 6th straight ball. And he swung at a ball, and it's a double play that ends the inning. It's like, dude, take some pitches, bro. Take some pitches. Jeremy says the pass ball by Santillan. Stevenson can't be doing the Monica Lewinsky impression. Yeah, that was terrible too. And I'm not one to sit here and be like, oh, you should make that play. And like, a pass ball is bad, but like, you can't just backhand it. You can't just backhand it. It was a bad pitch, but Stevenson didn't even attempt to slide. And I think it was Solly on Twitter, said that the one knee approach to catchers, there was a big article about it, that it doesn't actually, the numbers show that it doesn't actually make blocking balls more difficult. So I'm going to say that that article is right, which I appreciate people sharing stuff with that, because I'm just spewing basically what's coming out of my mind. But to me, it feels like it's much harder to try to block a baseball when you're down on one knee compared to if you're actually kind of standing up in a crouch. But the article said it hasn't changed much, and that's why so many catchers have gone to it. So it is interesting, but it just doesn't feel logistically like it's as easy to do. But yeah, it was a bad effort by Stevenson. It was a bad pitch by Santillan. It's just, we're sitting here. The pitching was good tonight. I mean, the pitching was good. We're talking about a one run from the bullpen because the Reds went 0 for 11 with runners in scoring position. It's crazy, man. And I mean, there's just some. We had Noelvi Marte as the only dude out there hitting the ball, and Tito just pulls him. Tito just pulls him for the third straight game. You have a guy at third base. You have a guy at third base who's trying to gain confidence out there. He made some good plays tonight. Looked good all game for the third straight game. They're like, "Hey, buddy, thanks for the double that we know you ended up scoring, or we know you basically got that run in. Thanks for the home run. Your time's gone." And then we get Santiago Espinal to start the ninth. And I know people were dunking on me on the take because I said that before the ninth inning. He has a 497 OPS against right-handed pitching this season. That double off the wall in the ninth was his third extra base hit this season against right-handed pitching. This season. So don't come at me. If you want to come at me and say that was the right decision just because he hit a double, come on, man. Come on. I was hoping it worked out. I was hoping I was wrong. Listen, if I'm wrong and the Reds win, I'm pumped. But come on. That's a crazy decision to let Santiago Espinal hit there. That's a crazy decision. But whatever. He wasn't the one. The game wasn't on him. Good for Espinal. He ripped it against the wall. He did his job. Friedel, terrible at bat. McLean, terrible at bat. Austin Hayes, terrible at bat. Listen, how many teams are going to watch what the Rockies did and see Ellie De La Cruz get intentionally walked 3 times and say, that's a good idea. We're not going to let Ellie De La Cruz beat us. Make one of these other guys beat us. If that game doesn't show the Reds need another big bat in the lineup so teams can't do that, I mean, come on. They're just saying, we'll make all your other guys beat us. We're not losing to Ellie De La Cruz. Yeah, wrong decision, good result, aka wrong formula, right answer. Yeah, it was the wrong decision. It was, and I'm not people are like, oh, you're going to delete your tweet now because you crapped on Espinal and then he got a double. I'm like, no, I'm not one to run from what I say. Like, that's silly. But that was crazy. What's up, Natty Ron? Thanks for being here. Yes, the blueprint's out on how to beat the Reds. Yeah, I mean, listen, you walk Ellie De La Cruz and you put out a left-handed opener out there against the Reds, you're doing pretty good. You're doing pretty good if you do those 2 things against the Reds. I just cannot believe, man. I had so much confidence the Reds were going to come out and play well tonight. I had so much confidence. And then they just why as a Reds fan do I get my hopes up like this? Why do I get my hopes up? Quinn Jordan, this team has a terrible plate discipline. So many Ks looking while swinging and pitches down and way out of the zone. No chance of making contact. Yeah, I said a little earlier, you might not have been in here yet, but I said Austin Hayes was looking like CES and Reese Hines tonight, just the way they were swinging it down and away breaking balls. I mean, he was just up there swinging. It was crazy. Jeremy says we have no identity. Ellie should have stolen second in the first. Hayes doesn't ground into a double play at that point. I agree. And Jeremy, I don't know if you were in here yet, but I discussed it a little bit, and I said, like, he could have went on the first pitch, obviously, but it was a ball, and then Hayes swung at another ball. So that would have been 6 straight balls by the pitcher, but instead Hayes swings at a ball, and it's a double play. You're out of the inning. It's like Hayes, it almost seems like in these big moments, all of a sudden he's getting too excited, and he just wants to swing and come up and be the guy. I don't know. Dylan says, with Hayes' performance tonight, still cleanup or who? Tito's not gonna switch him off one game. He said after the game, I just listened to all the press conferences. Which, by the way, I'm not trying to poke fun at any reporters or anything, but the questions Tito got asked after the game were just, I mean, they're just popcorn questions up there. They're just lobbing them softballs up there. It's like, do you guys realize this team just lost to the Rockies? Do you realize? And they're like, what'd you think about Chase Burns tonight? And they're like, what did the Rockies do to limit your offense? It's like, guys, can we ask questions here? Anyway, I'll get off. So I don't think they'll move Hayes out of Tito basically said Hayes struggled tonight, but we have all the faith in him. We'll take him 100 out of 100 times in that situation. Another one, good one. Why isn't Ellie running this year? I think it's a. I talked about this. I went on the. I think it's called the Red Hot Reds podcast with Ricky Logan, and them. And I think it's like I don't know if it's a Tito thing or if it's a front office thing that they changed their identity. Last year under David Bell, they had they were so aggressive, and then you had all the fans get mad because they were thrown out on the bases so much. But also they were very successful at a lot of times. But people only want to talk about the negatives. This year they're just being way less aggressive, and I think to their detriment. They need to be. You have Ellie De La Cruz steal, so you can't hit into a double play. If Ellie steals, you have second and third, and then Hayes hits that ground ball. It's a tie game early in the game. So I don't know. I think they're going the polar opposite of what they went last year, where they were so ultra aggressive, and now they're scared of being thrown out on the base paths because that was the talk like half the games last year of they're too aggressive. Even though I think the numbers actually showed it was still a net positive, but again, people just like talking about the negatives. So I think it's like a change of philosophy. I don't know if it's a Terry Francona thing. I don't know if it's the front office changed their mind about it. I'm not sure. It's a good question though. I would love for the reporters to ask that question. Hey Tito. So last year the Reds ran a lot, and you have Ellie De La Cruz, you have Noelvi Marte, you have Will Benson. All these guys can steal bases. You have Matt McClain. Like, what's been the philosophy change of why you guys have run less and less this year? No, we don't ask that. We say, hey. Here's a softball. Here's a softball question for you. Anyway, the decision to pull Marte for Espinal was bad, but not putting in Trevino to pinch hit for Hayes was way worse. Yeah, I mean, they're never going to pinch hit for Hayes in there. Hayes has been good this season, so I don't think they're going to pinch hit him there. But I don't know, man. That was just a crazy game. I literally think it's the most upset I've been all season long. This year. So it was just so frustrating. So frustrating. What would you try to do right now personally? Buy, sell, or do nothing? This is a lame answer probably, but it honestly changes so much, or it honestly depends on what they do in the next 20 days. I mean, if you're 7 games back, I wouldn't say go buy, and I'd probably say go trade Austin Hayes and go trade Nick Martinez. If you're 3 games back, I'd say go for it. I think you do need to be aggressive, like while you have Ellie De La Cruz on the roster. You have him until 2028 if you're going to trade him then. I know people don't want to hear that, but the Reds probably aren't signing Ellie De La Cruz. He's probably going to go be a free agent with Scott Boras as his roster. So I would say if they're close, I would say buy. If they're not close, sell. Do nothing is kind of I do nothing. You're kind of I don't see the point of doing nothing. You gotta go one way or the other. If you do nothing, you're just stuck. You're just stuck in the middle. Yeah, Natty Ron, I hear you. 5-2. That's what I was saying. I was saying so many people. Well, I put out a poll earlier. So many people put out and said, "Hey, 6-1 or bust. 6-1 or we're going to be mad." And here we are, 5 games into the Marlins and Rockies, and they're sitting at 2-3. 2-3. So, yeah, it's been fun. That's for sure. It's been fun stuff this year. What other rants we got about tonight? I'm trying to think. I had so many things. They just could not get a big hit. Besides Marte, and I still can't get over the Marte thing, man. I still cannot believe the guy who has been hitting great recently. You're just like, 7th inning, tie game. See you later, dude. See you later. I just can't get over that. I literally cannot get over it. I'm probably biased because I really like Noelvi Marte. And I honestly think Noelvi Marte is going to be a really good player. Like, his swing is so good. When he lays off pitches and goes the other way, like, it's so good. But I don't know. I'm going to retweet this again. Let's see if we can get some more people in here. I don't know what. Also, there's like things that pop up on here. I don't go. I think this is the second time I've ever went live, maybe. I have no idea what all these things that pop up are. So if I miss anything, I'm sorry, but appreciate some of you joining in here. I'm here to have some fun, right? It's a Friday night. We can't just sit there and I guess be mad all night. At least we can be mad together. At least we can be mad together. What a terrible loss, man. This what a I will say Chase Burns was awesome. We can talk about how good Chase Burns was. He gave up 2 runs. He gave up 2 runs in 6 innings, 10 strikeouts. I mean, he was electric. He made one mistake. He threw a get me over curveball, essentially, or slider, whatever he throws, breaking ball, and Ryan McMahon was ready for it and cranked that ball. But again, we're sitting here talking about a loss to the Rockies because we gave 3 runs. So Burns pitched great. He was fantastic. The bullpen was pretty decent. Santillan obviously wasn't great, but he gave up 1 run, and you scored 2 runs against the Rockies. The Rockies had given up like more blown leads than anybody in baseball. It's just crazy. Just crazy. Natty Ron says, if you're in here, give a like on the stream. Yes, I appreciate that. Those do help. I don't like saying all that stuff, but I guess you have to. I'm still somewhat new to YouTube, but we're trying over here. We're trying. So if you're in here, first of all, I appreciate you. Second of all, hit the old thumbs up button for me. That'll help me. Yeah, Burns, he was struggling with command a little bit, but I think that's going to happen. He's still so young, man. He was pitching it in Wake Forest last year, so he's going to be fine. I mean, he's been really good 3 out of 4 starts pretty much. I mean, not really good, but pretty good. I don't think Burns is going to be someone this year that's going to go deep into games a lot, especially they're going to be cautious with his pitch count. I was actually shocked they brought him back out for the 6th. But, like, if your rookie starting pitcher comes out and gives you 6 innings of 2-run baseball against the worst team in baseball, you should win the game. Not the Reds, baby. Not the Reds. 2 runs. We had Marquez out there looking like he was Cy Young. He was out there just doing whatever he wants. I shouldn't say the Reds got some hits. I think they stranded runners. They said like the first 6, I believe, innings of the game, maybe the first 5 innings of the game, they stranded runners in every inning. I still, even late, I was like, the Reds will score off this bullpen. They should have scored 2 in the first. Matt McClain couldn't hit a fly ball with Marte on third. Austin Hayes got out again that inning. FC Cincy, you're asking the wrong person about FC Cincy. I don't watch any MLS. Maybe the final. But it is cool since he got a soccer team. I went to a game when I was in town last year or 2 years ago. I don't remember, but pretty cool stadium. Yeah, fundamentals. It's just always something, man. Like, I couldn't believe for the game-winning run to score on a wild pitch like that. I mean, it was the most Reds thing of all time. It was absolutely the most Cincinnati Reds thing of all time for that to be how the winning run, for the winning run to score like that. It was just so typical. There's so much. It was just crazy. Who do you guys? Let's do this. If you're in the chat, if the Reds were within, let's say, 3 to 4 games of the wild card at the deadline, who would you want them to buy? Or who would your like dream target be at the deadline? I think I put Duran from the Red Sox the other day, and a lot of people said, well, the Red Sox are currently a wild card team, so they're not going to sell, which is true, but they basically came out and said they're listening to offers on some of the outfielders because they can't play them all right now. So they have too many guys for too little spots. Natty Ron, I think Ozuna would be cool. I feel like Ozuna would rake at GABP. Not a great person, pretty good baseball player. I'm interested. I think his contract's up after this year, so it would truly be a rental. So I feel like the Reds have to be pretty close to a wild card spot to go for a true rental like that. But I think Ozuna would be fun. I just want a power bat in this lineup like that. Like I want a power bat behind Ellie. Like Austin Hayes is kind of a power bat in this lineup because they just don't have that. CES can't even get on the field, and when he does, like he's struggling. Yeah, Quan would be cool. I would like Quan, although it doesn't really solve our issues against left-handed pitching. It doesn't give us a ton of power, but he's a good player. Quan's a good player. I don't think, and you probably wouldn't have to give up quite as much for him as some of the other big guys. I don't know. Maybe you would. The Guardians are weird. You really never know what the Guardians are going to do at the deadline. They do all sorts of stuff. But yeah, he needs some power around Ellie De La Cruz. Like it can't just all be him. It can't be the Ellie De La Cruz show every night. I mean, they walked him 3 times tonight. They're just like, we'll put him on. No worries. We're not scared of everybody else. We're not scared. I don't know, man. It's just crazy. It's crazy. I'm trying to think who else. Let me search something. Possible buys. The Braves might definitely sell. I don't know if they have other than Ozuna. Maybe Sean Murphy they would look at trading. Best bats. I've looked this list up a million times. I should have them all on the top of my head, but Orioles, yes. A lot of people said Ryan O'Hearn. He kind of scares me just because he's like 31, and every time I think of the Reds signing or trading for someone like that, I get like flashbacks of Moose and Candy, especially the fact that Moose is or not Moose. O'Hearn's having the year of his life. I feel like the Reds would trade for him, and he'd have like the worst second half of his life. That just would be on brand. Suarez, people are all about Gino Suarez. That'd be cool. I'd be a little bit scared that he's going to keep up what he's doing too. I want to hate Ryan McMahon, who hit the bomb for the Rockies tonight. I don't think he'd cost a ton. I don't think he's been amazing this year. I think he's kind of struggled a little bit, but he's been good over his career. So I want to hate that. Yeah, Jarren Duran. I love that. I love his game, man. If the Red Sox were buying, I would trade I think Nick Lodolo is underrated at this point. I would probably trade Nick Lodolo for Jarren Duran. So I don't know. I'm already hitting the panic button. Yeah, I'm not there yet, man, but I'm not hitting the panic button yet. But man, tonight, I think it's as frustrated as I've been. There's just no excuse to lose to the Rockies. They're 22-72. Think how bad that is. 22-72. That's crazy. What do you guys think about DJ LeMahieu? The Yankees just released him. I know some people wanted him. I don't know. The Reds have enough of guys like DJ LeMahieu. No power. He can slap it around a little bit. I don't think he's adding a bunch to this team. So I think I'd pass. I mean, unless you can have him and he'd be a bench bat, sure, whatever. But I don't think you adding a guy like DJ LeMahieu and all of a sudden you go from a wild card team to a playoff team. Oh man. Let's see what we got. Yeah, minor league deal. I mean, it'd be low risk. It'd be low risk if you had a minor league. I mean, if they pick him up, whatever. He's probably better than Connor Joe. But the thing is, like the Reds don't play those guys at the end of the bench that much. Like Connor, I know we all joke about him, but he doesn't. He barely ever really sees the floor or sees the field. So Yeah, so I don't know. It'd be fine, but I don't think he's moving the needle. Yeah, situation. So that's a good point, Natty Ron. Situational hitting. Here's an interesting thing by me, or that I was thinking about. So like someone, it feels like Tito still manages pretty old school. I feel like, but then you get in the ninth inning, and Espinal hits a leadoff double, and maybe because he thinks Friedel can pull a ground ball, at least, and you don't have to bunt. But like, why aren't you bunting there? And I get people hate the bunt these days, so maybe you guys are anti-bunt, and maybe this is dumb by me, but I just think bunt the ball, get the guy to third. It's way easier to score him from third than second. Um, and McLean just has to make contact there, which he struggled with this year. But I don't know. I just it just those are the things that I struggle with. Like it seems like sometimes it's like old school managing, and then other times it's like, nah, we're just gonna do it differently today. It's just bizarre. Brady Singer on the mound tomorrow. We got a guy for the Rockies that's 0-2 with a 12.94 ERA with 8 strikeouts. So he's probably only made like 2 starts, I'm guessing, for the Rockies. Bradley Blaylock. Hopefully the Reds can score more than 2 runs off Mr. Bradley Blaylock. He's pitched in 5 games. He's given up 27 hits in 23 runs in 16 innings. To his defense, 2 of those games were at Coors Field. He pitched in San Francisco and went 5 1/3 innings and gave up 3 runs on 2 hits. So his one game away from Coors Field, he was actually pretty decent. The Reds faced him earlier this year. They scored 6 runs on 7 hits on April 27th against him. So that's Mr. Bradley Blaylock tomorrow. Mike, welcome in. This was a very disturbing loss, you said. I hear you, brother. It was a very disturbing loss. There's no other way to say it. That's a perfect way to say it. Very disturbing loss. I agree. I think the funniest thing about tonight's game was the Rockies closer having 4 save opportunities. I didn't even see that. 4 save opportunities on the season? That's crazy. That dude was throwing gas, though. He was throwing gas. Yeah, again, Jeremy, good point. You said Friedel is a great bunter. It's perfect. Friedel was a great bunter. He bunts for hits, and then when he's up there with the guy on second with no outs, what are we doing? It just doesn't make sense. It just doesn't make sense. The Rockies literally took the lead on a passed ball, and we're scared to get the guy to third when he haven't been hitting with runners in scoring position all night. It just does. I don't understand it. And again, I get people are very anti-bunt these days, and you only score. The Reds probably score 50% of the time with runners on third and no outs. But still, I would agree. Bunt him over. You have their best bunter. It'd be one thing if CS was up in that situation. Like CS probably can't bunt. Even someone like Will Benson probably hasn't bunted a lot. TJ Friedel bunts on the regular for hits. He can surely drop down a good bunt. Yeah, he might drop down a sacrifice and beat it out. Just another thing that I didn't understand tonight. Just another thing that I didn't understand. It's just crazy. It's just crazy. This team has been it's the most mediocre team of all time. They've been between 4 games under 500 and 4 games over 500 all season long. All season long. They haven't been more than 4 games under, more than 4 games over. Right now they sit at 1 game over. Just a crazy team. That's just Reds fandom right there. Just Reds fandom. They get you excited enough to keep watching, but they can never just keep going. Must win the next 2, literally must win. I agree. You cannot lose a series to the Rockies. You shouldn't lose a game to the Rockies. This Rockies team. You cannot lose a series. You have to win the next 2. It's who the Reds get after Let's go through their schedule after the All-Star break. They go to New York to play the Mets. Mets have been struggling lately, but they're a good team. They got 3 against the Nationals, 3 against the Rays, 3 against the Dodgers, and then they close out the month with the Braves. So, you want to hear a scary thing when I was looking at the schedule a little earlier in the year. The Reds, we know how good they are against the NL Central. We know how good the Reds are against the NL Central. The last 13 games of the season we play against the NL Central. So listen here. If the Reds are in a good spot on September 14th after coming off a 3-game series against the Athletics, they got the Cardinals, Cubs, Pirates, Brewers to end the season. So they better have like a 7-game lead in the wild card with how this team plays against the NL Central, because it could set up for heartbreak. Giants currently losing to the Dodgers. Let's hope they lose and we stay 3.5 down. That would be great. I would love that. William Wright, welcome to the chat. Austin Hayes couldn't hit with an ironing board, striking out so much there and couldn't hit behind Ellie in the lineup. Yeah, it was a rough night for Austin Hayes. There's no way around that. I think he just needs to be more patient, man. He just gets up there and just swings at everything. He just gets up there and swing it. I think that's the scout. I feel like early in the season he ambushed a lot of first pitches. I think the scouting report's probably out there a little bit on that, but I don't know. Maybe I'm just spewing. I don't have the research right in front of me. So I tweeted out. I was like, it would be so fitting for Austin Hayes to hit a walk-off home run after how bad he was. I was trying to tweet it into existence, and then instead he just struck out again. Man, that was tough. I was trying my best after saying Espinal hitting the ninth was crazy, and then he ripped the double off the wall. And people were like, yeah, what now? Espinal's great. Okay, cool. My bad. His 497 OPS against right-handed pitching. I feel bad sometimes. I gave Espinal a lot of. I'm pretty critical of Santiago Espinal. I just think he gets put in roles that he shouldn't get put in. That's all. I think he could be a bench player, a solid bat against left-handed pitching. But Tito loves him some Espinal, and he's always batting in like big situations, and it's turned the fan base to be against him, kind of. The Reds lost the series against bad teams like the Marlins, Nationals, and White Sox. Yeah, that's true. Those kill you. Those kill you. Losing series to teams like that will kill you at the end of the year. Someone said it earlier in the chat. Natty Ron said the schedule is not pleasant after the All-Star break. It's not. I think it's one of the top 3 hardest in the league after the All-Star break. So that's not great. Yeah, I don't know, man. It was a frustrating loss, but front office needs to send a message to send him down. Espinal Tito might break. I don't know. I know. I'm like, they just need to. I think Nick Kirby said this the other day. I saw a clip, but he said something like they just need to get Espinal, send him down or trade him just for the fact because Tito uses him wrong, not because he doesn't deserve a spot, at least a bench spot on the team, but because Espinal has something against him where he just plays him constantly. But it's crazy. It's crazy. Any other questions? Any other rants before I hop off here? I'm probably going to go play some college football. I started a dynasty with Kent State. So I'm probably going to go get crushed. They're 64 overall. So I'll take it out. I'd say I would take it out on who I'm playing, but I'm certainly not because I play on Heisman mode and try to just start with such a bad team where I work my way up. But so I'll probably go lose like the Reds did tonight. But Anyway. Coop's dad, honestly, one of, if not the worst loss of the year. Our offense is so bipolar, it's frustrating. We have to be consistent if we want to be taken seriously. Yeah, we've been. You probably haven't been in here the whole time, but we've been saying that, man. I honestly think it was the most frustrating loss of the season for me, and maybe that's just because this isn't 2 hours after the game, and that's what I'm saying now. But I feel like that's how I was. I felt more frustrated tonight than I've been the whole season. There's just no excuse to lose like that and score 2 runs against the Colorado Rockies. Just no excuse for that. But it is what it is. We're on to tomorrow. We got Brady Singer on the mound tomorrow. You can't lose tomorrow. It's an afternoon game, 4:10, I think. You got to win it. But anyways, I'm going to get off here. Appreciate you guys joining, letting me vent. Appreciate all the comments. Appreciate all the feedback. On to tomorrow. Hopefully the Reds win the next 2, and all of a sudden we'll be back. They need to win the next 2. They need to win the next 2. But if you're still in here, hit that like button. Help me out. Appreciate all the support. Thanks as always. We'll be back on Twitter tomorrow, ranting up a storm. Go Reds. See you tomorrow. Thank you.